I'm usually the only one who really cares. I'm like a lifeboat. And I will tell you, I think I have the hardest job of any professional. I'm not like a cardiologist. I'm not even like an oncologist. No one's ever had.
Guilty.
Every case is different. Every case is fact-specific. But it's never my job to determine whether my client is 100% guilty or 100%.
I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible. I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide.
I'm usually the only one who really cares. I'm like a lifeboat, and I will tell you, I think I have the hardest job of any professional. I'm not like a cardiologist. I'm not even like an oncologist, and no one's ever had guilty. Every case is different. Every case is fact specific, but it's never my job to determine whether my client is 100% guilty or 100%. I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible. I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download. A bit about Ago's history: he received a bachelor's degree in philosophy and political science from Connecticut College in 1986. In 1990 he received his Juris degree from Brooklyn Law School, and while there even received the American Jurisprudence Award for outstanding performance in music trial. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. Imagine it's thousands. I mean, you know, and I'm not really sure what the baby oil has to do with anything. I don't know where the number 1,000 came. John Diddy Combs is no stranger to controversy, but this time it's his own attorney dropping a bombshell. What could possibly make a high-profile lawyer step away from one of the biggest stars in the game stick around as we uncover the shocking courtroom confession that's got everyone talking? Trust me, you would want to miss the details. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Let's get started. Post bail, which is exactly what they are going to try and do, right? And he has brought in new lawyers to try and get this done. Here's get to the lawyers in a second. I just don't know how's the argument changed. 25 of the 120 individuals who are in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion, there's no crime. There's basically just, you know, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal. For the past several years, AGN has been lead counsel for the AG in law firm that leads us to EO's notable cases, beginning with the federal trial of NXIVM cult leader Keith Rary. Picture this: a slow-motion car crash. You just can't look away from. That's the scene surrounding P. Diddy right now. His once solid empire, it's shaking like it's built on jelly, with scandal after scandal dropping like beats in a rap battle. Every day seems to bring a new bombshell, and now the feds are closing in. As for Diddy's lawyer, word on the street is he's had enough stepping down after what must have been countless sleepless nights with his defender out of the picture. The big question is, what's next? Imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type. Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's the he's focused. He has been ready to defend this case since he first found out about this case. Nothing has changed from his perspective. I obviously would much prefer to fight this case with him out of jail, and we are going to try to bring that about through additional legal process. Diddy is facing a storm of lawsuits and accusations, but his legal team isn't backing down. They've called the claims baseless, labeling them as money grabs, and maintain his innocence. At his first pre-trial hearing, Diddy pleaded not guilty. Lee's is innocent. The first believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs, I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I don't think it was 1,000. Let's just say it's a lot. Okay, what prosecutors were arguing is not only does your client pose a flight risk, because obviously he's incredibly wealthy, has access to planes and a lot of staff, even though you said he turned over his passport to you months ago. They were also worried about him being able to interfere with witnesses and calling them, and so I guess the question is, how do you assure the court that won't happen if prosecutors are saying this is someone who's attempted to bribe security staff and has already interfered with witnesses? So I think that the most important thing, even more important than the passport, is that Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. Soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, when Judge Robin Turnovsky denied his Bail. He calmly sipped some water, glanced at his family, and was escorted out of the courtroom. His lawyer Mark Agnifilo made it clear that Diddy isn't giving up, saying Mr. Combs is a fighter, he's going to fight this to the end, he's innocent. Agnil also plans to appeal the bail decision, but everything's on the government's timetable and nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial, and I'm going to be pushing for that. He's acknowledging Diddy's flaws. The lawyer admitted to his past struggles with substance use and unhealthy relationships, but pointed out that he's now in therapy and receiving treatment. Agilo suggested the case revolves around a long-term relationship that ended badly due to infidelity, subtly referring to Diddy's decade-long relationship with Cassie Ventura in Cassie's lawsuit, where she talked about these freak-off parties that he would have at hotels in, she said, in Atlanta, Miami, LA, and New York, and they were essentially. But the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York who filed this laid this out at a press conference and specifically addressed the freak-offs. The freak-offs sometimes last. Regarding the controversial freak-offs, Agilo argued that they were consensual, stating, "Is it exploitation? Not if everyone wants to be there." He claims the authorities were intruding on Diddy's personal life. As for the firearm allegations, he's clarified they belong to his hired security and not Diddy himself. Similar accusations in other lawsuits have also been strongly denied by Diddy and his team on this. First of all, what was your reaction to this latest allegation of more than 100 additional victims? Hi Nicole, nice to be with you. You know it's the proverbial snowball coming down the hill. When you've been living a lifestyle, not just one or two incidences, but a lifestyle which D seems have led. There's a lot of people, a lot of activity out there, and to be honest, I don't think it's over. I don't think we're at the precipice yet. We're going to see these new claims come out in different states, different jurisdictions. The additional ones will follow, and people are kind of jumping on the bandwagon, and the indictment and the initial civil lawsuits gave a lot of these victims the courage to come forward, which is probably why they didn't come for before, and now we're seeing it. Threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. Now they say they found those recordings. Diddy Coles' lawyer recently admitted he broke jail phone rules while at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center MDC. According to Vibe, prosecutors accused him of using other inmates' phone access cards (PXS) to contact witnesses and sway public opinion. During his legal battles, Diddy's attorney Alexander Shapiro countered these claims, explaining that sharing PAC numbers is a common practice at MDC and doesn't amount to obstruction of justice. She also argued that there's no proof Diddy's calls were any different from those he made using his own PAC. In a recent twist, Judge Arun Subramanian ordered prosecutors to destroy notes taken from Diddy's cell during a raid. Proscut ERS had argued that the notes were part of their case, but this move highlights the ongoing tensions in the legal battle. Vibe reported. Meet Mark Agnifilo. Diddy's lead attorney Mark Agnifilo earned his bachelor's degree in philosophy in political science from Connecticut College in 1986. As noted in his law firm's resume, he went on to receive his JD from Brooklyn Law School in 1990, where he was awarded the American Jurisprudence Award for Excellence in Trial Advocacy. Agnifilo stayed with the U.S. Attorney's Office until 2006, when he began work at the law office of Benjamin Brafman, who by the way read Diddy in his trial regarding the New York nightclub shooting. You may remember Diddy was charged with aisle violations and bribery charges in that case after a shooting broke out near Times Square in 1999. No one was injured, and Agnifilo is a member of various bar associations, including the New York State Bar, the State of New Jersey Bar, and the U.S. District Courts for the Southern and Eastern Districts of New York and the District of New Jersey. He's also admitted to the Supreme Court of the United States and the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. Before representing Diddy, Agilo handled many high-profile cases. He defended Keith Rinner, the founder of Nexium, which started as a multi-level marketing company but was later described as a cult-like group. Rinner faced charges of exploitation and racketeering, and in 2019 was sentenced to 120 years in prison and fined $1.75 million. Maintains his innocence. He does plan on appealing, and we do think we have some substantial grounds for an appeal. I think Keith is comfortably in that class of defendants who should not one day die alone in prison, and so a fair sentence, I think, would give him the ability to have hope that one day he can. Agilo also represented Roger Inga